I feel very lucky to have a lot of like pole dancers who love my songs. That's like a niche that I want to stay in forever.
Hi, welcome back to Holding Space with Tracy E. Gilchrist. I am beyond excited to introduce today's guest, a musician, actor, dancer, all-around incredible human. And without further ado, that person is Kat Cunning. And we talk about Kat's prolific career, how their gender evolution influences their art. And we also talk about The Wizard of Oz at some length, which always makes me excited. So here's Kat Cunning. Kat Cunning, thank you for being here. I'm so glad you were able to get here.
It is my absolute pleasure to be here.
Yes.
It's so cozy in here.
It is cozy on this very kind of chilly, rainy LA day.
Bloody. It's truly flooding out there.
I know. I didn't go anywhere yesterday. I stayed home with my cat.
Me too.
Yeah.
But I must say the idea of a flood emotionally as a water sign does kind of excite me. It's dangerous and insensitive, but I do like the idea. If there was a way to die, I'd like to like float down a river. Be
taken away.
Yeah. Or a tsunami.
Ooh. Yeah, because then you're just gone.
Yeah. Or perhaps not. You might be torn limb for limb, but but by water instead of fire.
But you know what? Being torn limb for limb is good choreography, and we know that that's part of your
and good
brand.
Poetry. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned this just now that we do have a little bit of a history. We've spoken a couple of times. I think the first time was 2019.
Oh, thank you for remembering the year.
Yeah, I think it was. And then the second time I was able to look up, and that was September of 2020.
Wow. Okay.
We did a Zoom call.
Back and back.
Yeah. But we haven't spoken since.
Except for you were at the show for your birthday.
It was my birthday, and Kat Cunning performed here in LA. So I got to see Kat for the first time.
Yeah. I'm so glad you got to see that show.
It was so good. Yeah.
The show meant a lot to me to do. It was my first independent EP release.
Yeah.
And I really just like scrapped every person that was on the stage very soulfully with me, like gave their heart to that show. And it felt so good to do something live because I feel like without being super tangential, like music doesn't necessarily have to be live anymore. You can literally just rely on like releases and things that happen on the internet. And I'm such a performer. So it means the world to me when people prioritize coming to see the show.
I'm glad you told me about it in a series of voice notes on Instagram.
Yes. It's so rare when I like end up actually engaging with voice notes on Instagram, but we had a really good discourse.
Well, I was in New York when that happened for Downton Abbey premiere.
Amazing.
And I was staying at the Essex, and I'd had a couple of cocktails. And
you did admit that over the voice notes. You're like, I want you to understand the context.
Yeah, I was like, I am maybe a little looser than usual.
But I held you to it. I was like, your birthday.
Yeah.
It's your birthday.
Yep.
You have to come.
I did. And it was amazing.
Thank you.
Outstanding. Well, I have a standard question that I start out with.
Great.
Because the state of the world is on fire, and especially in this country. And you're an empathetic person. How are you?
I really love that question.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be honest. I am in a really great space today because I just came from New York, where I have so many friends who are my family. Yeah. And I was really reminded in a contrast to like being sort of isolated and anxious, that connecting with people really just like boosts your mental health and makes you feel like you can take on anything. Like the things that I'm afraid of when I'm sitting alone. Like I think my last LA night here, there was a helicopter circling West Hollywood. And I was just scrolling, I was doom scrolling, and I was like, I took the helicopter very seriously, you know, in a way that I wouldn't have out of context. And going to New York, there's still, I got out of a gig in New York and people were like communicating that ice was circulating the neighborhood. And I was nowhere near as scared as I was when I was sitting alone looking at a helicopter. So I'm in a pretty good place because I feel connected to people. And when you're connected to people, it feels possible to fight anything.
I really relate to that answer because I'm super lonely in LA. Mm-hmm. I live on the West Side. I have rent control, so I'm not going anywhere soon.
Love it for you.
But it's lonely over there. And sometimes just interviewing folks like yourself is really the only interaction I get in a week.
Yeah.
But whenever I leave or go to New York, or
somebody outside every time you walk out.
Every time. I could just walk down the street and go to Don't Tell Mama and sing some show tunes.
Yeah, or even literally just like the second I landed in New York, there were just all these people. It was freezing temperatures when I landed in New York like 2.5 weeks ago. And there were all these construction workers getting on the Jamaica Air train who were just like, it's fucking cold, man. What's up? But we got this. You know, and you're just like.
Right. And they talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say, coming back to LA, and people who have lived here a long time tell me that like when you come back a number of times, it does start to feel like home. And I do feel grateful for the space here. And it takes more muscle to get people together. Yeah. But the people are here. And
there are great people here.
Yeah. We have to just like practice community, I think.
Yes. Agreed. Yeah. So I appreciate your answer.
We have to hold space.
We have to hold space. Thank you for initiating that. You are so prolific and your life is taking off, your career, so much. But I have to start with you recently became engaged.
Yes. Let's talk about it.
Yes.
It really is a once in a lifetime thing.
I mean,
sometimes
not, but this is a big deal.
It's a really big deal.
Yeah. So please tell our viewers, listeners about your engagement, who you're engaged to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'll start by saying that I was never a person who like from birth was like, I want to get married. In fact, when I was like in college, I was writing poems about how marriage is like a form of oppression. I was absolutely.
It's the patriarchy.
It's the patriarchy. And then I was like, oh, I don't want to marry a man. That's why.
Oh,
I'm gay.
Yeah. That's
but even still, marriage didn't
relatable.
really cross, right? You know, you're like, marriage, don't make me do it. It's just because you want to be with a girl. But even still, I never was like super marriage, like attached to the idea of that as a goal.
Yeah.
And then meeting my fiance, Jules Latimer, an incredible actress, artist of all kinds, most importantly, the kindest person I've ever met. She and I just like unlocked that for each other. And I think there is something to be said for the time in the world that is just like loyalty and commitment and togetherness feels more poignant than being averse to those things. Like I want to choose her as my family, and I want like our friend group and our family to grow stronger in the face of everything that's happening. And our proposals were adorable and amazing. And
did you talk about that a little?
Yeah. So I proposed to her first because she told me that I had to.
Oh.
Yeah. She was like,
what was that about?
We get married, but like you need to propose to me. And I was like, I love that about you.
Okay.
And again, like I didn't really care because I never had a dream of being proposed to, really.
Yeah.
I have dreams of like being a movie star and a pop star and being successful and famous.
Which is happening.
It's on the way. Look out.
It's happening.
Yeah. But I wasn't like, no, the proposal has to go this way. So I was really happy to propose to her. And I basically carried a ring around for like 9 months. This story really starts New Year's Eve of last year when I performed in Miami with like fireworks above me with a live band. And I met our friend, Brian, who made our rings. And he was there as a jewelry designer that our friends invited us to meet. And the next day, Jules, luckily enough, was sick. So I went to go have brunch with him and our friends. And we were talking. He was like, you guys have to get engaged. You're so in love. And honestly, that gig sort of felt like our first wedding. It was so amazing. Like after I performed, she literally carried me on her shoulders through the crowd. And people were handing me champagne. And then as the party died down, we were like the only two dancing on the dance floor. And it felt like Pulp Fiction. It was like so romantic.
Oh, that's so good.
And then, the next day I was just talking about how I can't imagine a proposal without a ring made in a special way through a connection to a friend. And he was that friend. And he was like, let's make it. And the ring that I made for Jules is a perfect like signet that feels like at once masculine and feminine. And it has the diamond of my parents' marriage. So third time's a charm because it actually happened in my brother's wedding as well. My mom
You're
did bless
romantic.
it. I'm a romantic, of course. Oh my God, you can't write pop songs without being a romantic. You really can't. Like
put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, you have to believe in magic to be in this field at all, I feel.
Yeah.
Like magic.
Yes.
Like love and rom-coms.
Right.
But also magic for those of you at home who are...
some believe in, magic is real.
Yeah.
But, for those of you, yeah, it's all good.
It's all good. We welcome it all. Whatever kind of witchery you're doing.
Do it all.
Yeah.
Would you go back a little bit and tell me how you and Jules met?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We met on Raya. Have you heard of it?
I have heard of it. A success story on Raya. All I hear about Raya is like
no truly
connections.
Think we are the most unlikely people to have met on Raya. I had like she wouldn't say this, but I'm trying to find a way to say like hyper hot photos of me on Raya, meaning that like there was no way she was going to get a realistic read on how I am as a person,
Right.
And nobody kind of was. And she looked like so sweet and kind. And I don't know, we swiped and I was just like, here's my phone number. Do you want to meet Wednesday? I had just performed Pride in these assless chaps, and that I wore those all week.
As one does.
And I had one wholesome outfit left with me. And I wore that wholesome outfit to our lunch date. And we had a lunch date because my photos were really hot. And she was like, who is this person? Are they going to be scary and sexy and weird? Are they going to be freakazoid? And she asked a lot of people about me, and thank God a couple people in the streets were like, Kat's great, you should go on the date.
Yeah.
And so she went, and we had the most wholesome, wonderful lunch date. We talked for like 3 hours.
I read this on your Instagram. It was ended up being like a
3-hour lunch. We had a 3-course meal. We ordered a rabbit in the heat of summer.
Oh, where was the date?
I can't shout the place out because honestly it wasn't amazing, but our company was incredible.
And that's what matters.
Yeah. But it was lovely, and nobody else was there, so that was nice. And we didn't kiss after the first date, and that was like probably the first time I've ever not kissed somebody after our first date. I was kind of like actively going against what I usually do, and we were left thinking about each other. And then like next thing you know, I'm at JFK, and the airport is like, you want to take $500 to stay? You know when they do that?
Yes.
They like bid that you can change your flight. So I called her on a whim, and I was like, should I change my flight and stay? She was like, yeah, let's see a movie. Next thing you know, we're making out in the rain on a picnic table in Williamsburg,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's a movie.
It really is a movie, and I hope that we get the balls to write it,
I think you will.
Or the vulvas, whatever genitals we need.
I think you will.
Really just the time.
Yeah. That's a thing.
Is a thing. Time is money. Time is balls.
Or vulvas.
Yeah. Time is genitals.
Or all of it. Well, we just surpassed Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
What did you do for Valentine's Day?
Oh, it's sort of a boring story. We had such an incredible proposal when she proposed to me over Christmas in Mexico on a yacht and then beneath fireworks.
These two.
Yeah. But then, it's to make up for a lot of the time that we spend working apart from each other. And so this Valentine's, for example, I was doing a callback for a TV show during the day. And I was performing at night at the Faena in New York with a 7-piece band. We had a great show.
That's so cool.
And Jules was flying to LA, where she's sitting in our apartment right now.
Nice.
So our Valentine's is actually right after this. We have a date.
Gonna happen.
We have a date night. I don't know where we're going.
Oh.
I know, pretty cute.
Well, yeah. Could you let me know later?
I will. I'll text you.
If you can. But I do realize that I didn't get the story of where you proposed.
Yeah, we did that at Joshua Tree. So again, an off holiday experience because of our schedules, because she shoots most of the time in Vancouver. Her show Fire Country, watch it. She's so good. She's so hot. She's a hot firefighter. We weren't together for her actual birthday. So over Labor Day weekend, we went to Joshua Tree and got a little Airbnb and brought our cat. Now I can say that. Our Huli cat.
Huli?
Yeah. Her name is Julieta. And,
Julieta.
And Jules' name is Jules.
Wait, is she named for that Almodovar film?
She's named for, I need to see that now. She's named for the Baz Luhrmann Romeo plus Juliet. Because when Juliet is missing, The woman's running through the house going, Julieta, Julieta. And when I first got Juli, she would hide silently in drawers.
That's so cute.
And didn't care. Like I would open the drawer and she'd just look up and be like, I'm chilling. But I was in a panic.
Right.
So
where's my cat?
yeah. And also like most people of my generation, I'm heavily informed as a queer person by Leonardo DiCaprio's performance
Yes.
in Romeo plus Juliet. It's pretty much lesbian iconography.
It really is.
It really is.
I had a conversation back in the day with, this is a little off color. So they were, Claire Danes and...
I'm so excited. What do you say?
Claire Danes and Leonardo DiCaprio were on the cover of a magazine together and they looked gorgeous. And I said, I don't know which one I would want to fuck. And my person I was dating at the time said, well, after reading it, just her.
Amazing. Wait, I want to read this interview now.
I can't remember. It might have been Rolling Stone, but...
I do feel like everyone literally wants to be both of them. And that's the magic of that movie.
And I do love Leo. I love him.
Of course.
Throughout everything.
How could you not? Like I'm like we wouldn't be who we are without that movie as a gay generation, mine at least. Like I feel like that haircut has defined so many.
And the
humans.
poet sleeves.
The poet sleeves, the flowy, like vaguely Hawaiian, like button down situation, the crying in the sunset. One of my last music videos, Cinderella, I directly referenced the scene of him dropping to his knees and crying.
Yes.
I'm in drag for the music video. You should see it. I
haven't seen that one. I'm going to watch it.
You're going to love it. But I will warn you that you have to know that I'm in drag because the number of people who have watched it think it's just a man that I cast.
You're in like deep drag.
It's realness.
Okay.
It's a wig. I had this lady in Miami cut it on my head.
Wow.
She was great. She did a great job. It was really a crapshoot, but it went well.
All right. Well, I'm going to watch it.
You're going to love it. Everybody tell me in the comments how much you loved that music video.
Yeah, we're going to make that happen.
You're like, we're not live.
But we'll show it. I once dressed as Walter White in the pilot of Breaking Bad for Halloween.
Amazing.
I have never done drag. I actually scared myself by how accurate it was. I was like, what the hell?
But did you like it?
I liked how fucked up it was.
Okay.
Because I think too, Bryan Cranston and I both have Scottish roots. So I really oddly looked like him because it was the one where he still has hair. Yeah. And the mustache, and I'm in the green shirt and underwear.
Yeah. I do see it now. Yeah.
Yeah. And I did like it. It was fun. I don't think I would do it all the time, but I was just like, what?
Yeah, that's the joy of Halloween. You unlock parts of yourself.
Yes, it was interesting. Yeah.
When I first put on the wig to play, we ended up calling him Jared just to be fun. But I cast myself as the man in the story that vaguely references Romeo in the Cinderella music video. And when I first put it on, I was really upset because as a non-binary person, when I think about approaching a more male presentation, I want to actually feel masculine. And honestly, I really, at first, without even a heavier eyebrow or anything, I just looked like Katie Lang, which is hot, I mean, it was hot, but I felt really dysphoric because I was like, I just want to look like a man. I'm upset that now that I've tried to put on this partial costume of masculinity that it feels like a costume. But then, as you can see in the video, I really found a way. And
all right.
Jared comes through.
All right. I'm gonna go watch it after. I'm sorry that I did not catch that one before our conversation.
Fan. Just kidding. You're doing great. I make a lot of stuff.
Well, I wanted to say, I just want to bring Joao in for a moment. So my Valentine's Day was spent with Joao, and I have a mutual friend, which is how we met, Daniel, and it was his 40th birthday this weekend. So I spent my Valentine's Day with Daniel, with 7 gay men. And Joao was one of them.
At medieval times.
At medieval times.
At medieval times. That is an important detail to be leaving out.
I forget
you're
that.
You're 7 gay men and you're chomping on a chicken thigh, right?
Well, I'm a vegetarian because I'm,
Oh, what do they have for you there?
Actually, it was
celery.
Honest to God, it was a 3-bean stew, with barley and potato. Good. And I turned to Daniel. I said, "Is Medieval Times my new favorite restaurant?"
I'm so happy for you. Wait, this is so fun and camp. I love that.
I mean, because when I go to nice restaurants that don't have anything vegetarian on the menu,
it's upsetting.
Well, they give you a plate of steamed vegetables or a mushroom and call it a day.
Worst of all, a gigantic burrito filled with dry random dog food.
Yes, exactly.
How upsetting is that?
I don't want that.
I don't want that.
No.
I want at least a hearty stew of beans.
Back in the day when I first became vegetarian, like I would say so many of the vegetarian restaurants were like little cafes owned by lesbians.
Yeah.
And they all cooked from the Moosewood cookbook, but it was delicious.
Wait, history. So as a vegetarian, you're every day living out lesbian cafe history.
Yes.
That's so cozy.
Yes, it's very cozy. And I ended up working at one for many years as a server.
And you probably got a lot of phone numbers.
I got a few. I'm a little awkward.
Yeah, but some people love that.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I never know if somebody's hitting on me or if they're just
being nice.
Yeah, I can never tell.
It's hard to be gay.
Like you have to pretty much knock me over the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is
tough.
I feel like, there are tops and bottoms for a reason. You just need to take yourself out.
Yes.
The people that match you are out there.
Yes. Yeah. I've been finding a few this year, so it's good.
Happy Valentine's Day to those of you finding a few.
All right. Well, this is the central question.
Okay.
We have arrived at the central question of the podcast.
Ready.
So, as you know, I went viral for Holding Space with the lyrics of Defying Gravity.
An icon.
Thank you. In that moment, I was trying to convey the gravity, no pun intended on that, but of the 2024 election, which had happened 2 days earlier, and how, like with Cynthia Erivo in this role, a Black queer woman singing this song, it really and at this moment, it really takes on different meaning, etc. So that is to say, Kat Cunning, what is your Defying Gravity, that piece of music, film, TV, literature that has been with you throughout your life and that possibly changes over time with whatever you're going through?
I really love that question. So the thing that's inspiring me versus the thing I've made, right? The thing I hold with me. Yeah.
Yes. Although it could be something that you made
that's too easy. I can say that about everything I've made probably.
Yeah.
But funny enough, like the original Wicked, the actual Wizard of Oz.
We're going to talk about that. Yes. Okay.
I was obsessed with that script as a child.
Yeah.
I had it printed out. The script last revised in 1939. It has the songs that were cut out, like the Jitterbug.
Yeah.
I had every source of information I could possibly have about this movie. I had every Barbie. There were exclusive edition Barbies that were Wizard of Oz. I was really, really obsessed with it, like for a long time, many years prior to understanding my queerness. And I think it's so cool as an adult to realize how many queer people that movie spoke to and how many like underlying themes of finding a place where you belong and a chosen family and life becoming more colorful once you venture outside of what you're told to be. Right. It's like such a perfect story to me. And also as a singer, Judy Garland being this like iconic alto who is like not the cutie, like obviously she's a white person, but she was up against Shirley Temple. I have all these weird little fun facts about the movie, but like I think that and Somewhere Over the Rainbow has like definitely stuck with me since my inception of watching television.
Well, I love that answer because I am also someone who was obsessed with The Wizard of Oz as a child.
Yay.
For some reason, they re-released it in the theater when I must have been 4 or 5. And I remember my sister taking me to a matinee. And I had a little vinyl album that I would listen to. And they weren't Barbies, but they were posable, bendable figures and the Emerald City of Oz.
Yeah.
And I always loved, too, that when, there's no place like home. I was in a class once, a film class, where some folks were interpreting that as very conservative, where she has to go back home. And I'm like, to me, I always thought she found home within.
Yeah.
So anyway. So we have that in common.
I love that.
And I love that answer.
There are so many perfect metaphors. Like, it's really amazing how well that movie holds up. And I love, like, I think writing like that, we don't really see anymore, that is just like so simplistically and also richly metaphorical. Like, the metaphors just hold up, the Tin Man, the heart, the lion, the courage. Like, we can find ourselves in these like archetypes that are so friendly and not like exactly what we see in our own lives. And I just love when storytelling can bring people in. I think we get really literal lately, either really literal or really like aesthetic. I haven't seen something in a while that I'm like, what a great story that we should tell over and over and over again. You know, there's a lot of really good like direct literal writing that makes us feel like we're being mirrored, but I don't know, it's hard. There's nothing original under the sun, and Wizard of Oz is so many movies after it.
Right.
You know. And now we're going to go to a message from our sponsors.
I want to talk about something that's been on my mind, and then I want to tell you about the app that's helping with it. We spend so much time on this show talking about culture, about the people creating it, about what it means to be alive and paying attention right now. But here's the thing. We're all fighting for that attention every single day. And our kids, they're fighting a $200 billion industry designed by the smartest engineers in the world to keep them scrolling. It's not a fair fight. That's why I love Deo. It's an app where parents fund a weekly goal and teens actually earn money for staying under their screen time target. No battles, no parental controls they crack in 5 minutes, just real stakes and real rewards. And here's a fun fact. Deo's founder, Corey Sholabo, and I actually go way back through The Advocate. So this one feels personal. Go to deo.co and use code Tracy for 1 month free and hold space for yourself and your kids. Welcome back to Holding Space with Tracy. So yes, I'm going to switch gears a little bit and talk to you a little bit about where you grew up and at what point music and art and dance especially entered your life.
I was born in Oregon with my 2 brothers, my mom and my dad. And I apparently was a baby who cried all the time until my mom put on a video from the library of the Bolshoi Ballet. I stopped crying when I was 3 years old. So she put me in dance class. And then from then on, I pretty much just like told her that I needed to be at the studio all hours of every amount of free time I had as a young kid. So I was dancing most of my life, and I really wanted to be a dancer.
You started with ballet?
I started with ballet. I stayed with ballet until I went to audition for conservatories to go to school. I never wanted to go to college because I was watching all these movies like The Turning Point and White Knight.
Such a good movie.
Such good films about dance that are just like, all you're supposed to do is starve yourself and move to New York and be broke. And I was like, that's what I'm going to do. And so I turned like 16 and my family was like, you have to go to college. And I was like, who's paying for that? And they were like, you better figure it out. So I auditioned for dance schools, and a lot of them turned me down, which was the beginning of realizing that like, even though I was a promising, strong dancer, I didn't have the body that a ballet dancer was supposed to have.
Right.
And a lot of the schools turned me down because I was curvy or, you know, for lack of a better word, thick. And this one school, SUNY Purchase, let me in. And I'll never forget that audition because I had never really done modern dance before. And this teacher, Kevin Wynn, who is an incredible teacher who unfortunately is not with us anymore, he gave us this crazy combination where you had to go upside down and do all sorts of things I had never tried before. And I almost like paralyzed myself. I almost fell over. And he like stopped the room and said, everybody, that dancer right there, me, that dancer is a mess, but they're dancing.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, let's do it again.
Oh my God.
So I got into that school. Didn't have to have good math grades or anything like that. And then I danced in the dance conservatory in school.
Yeah.
It was incredible. But I like pretty quickly learned that I had more to do than just use my body, and wanted to speak. Started doing spoken word poetry.
Yeah.
Eventually got into an off-Broadway show when I graduated where I told them I could sing so I could keep my dance job originally.
So that's how you became a singer.
Was by hustling.
If you haven't heard Kat's music is unreal.
Thank you.
Unreal voice. So this is wild to me.
It is pretty crazy, but I like to think that it like being a dancer first really informed my singing because I didn't have anyone train me to sing a certain way. I was like singing with my body. And I think that people really felt that, even though in the beginning of my career, I was learning how to sing while I was on stage. It was probably pitchy. It was probably really fucking pitchy, to be honest. But it gave me a lot of information to know that people didn't really care about that. They cared about whether you were like earnestly telling the story.
Right.
And that's definitely become like a cornerstone of the music that I want to make is like lyrically driven and performance driven.
Yeah. Oh, I wish you could have seen that.
I wish you could have seen it too. It really was amazing. I'm not going to lie to you. It was this crazy little underground theater across the street from the public. And yeah, it was a sexy little.
So is that near Astor Place?
Yeah.
Back when I did theater, like many moons ago, I rehearsed for a show in, I think it was at the Public Theater.
Love that theater.
Yeah, it was the rehearsal spaces above.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Seen some great plays in there.
Yeah.
I love that neighborhood.
Yeah, it's cool because it's near St. Mark's too.
Yep, which was like pretty much the first place I ever lived alone to dance at the Joffrey Ballet.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I love New York. Stop.
I'm sorry, but I have to ask you this one question because
ask.
I already asked somebody else and we got like responses. Do you remember Dojos in St. Mark's? It was a little restaurant.
I don't. But do you remember Yaffa Cafe?
Yes. Who was the other cool one?
It was the other one. Well, you have to remember when I first lived on St. Mark's, I was like 13, so I couldn't get in places. Was this one that was like in?
No, it's just a little, kind of like a little restaurant where it was the cheapest food.
And it was just open.
Delicious.
Oh, I wish I had known.
It might have, I can't remember when it closed, but maybe you crossed paths.
I think you were just cooler than me. It's okay.
I never lived in New York. I'm from Connecticut, so I would just go down.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You probably had more wild experiences in New York than I did because you were coming from Connecticut. You had to fit it all in.
Had a few. Also, I lived in New Jersey for a while.
Okay.
And so would go into the city.
I'm like, what does that mean? The Jersey people are going to come for you if you don't clarify that.
After a shift, waiting tables at Bay Street Grill in Metuchen, New Jersey, we would go to the Bennigan's next door. And then when that closed, we would go across the street dancing. And then someone at like 2 a.m. would scream. Usually it was Staten Island, but sometimes we would go to Manhattan at like 3, 4 a.m. So that's when we'd get there.
This is what the kids need. The kids are missing this bad behavior. I need more bad behavior for the kids.
Oh, once I was dating this girl and she was like, let's go to the city. And I said, I have a double tomorrow. And she said, you can waitress in your sleep. So we went to the city.
She was right. And you did it.
It was one of the hardest days of my life. Waitressing on 30 minutes of sleep.
Okay, I totally relate. I remember I was working this like fashion pop-up for Lacoste and they played this one Flume song on repeat. It was like a 1:30 song and I just had to stand there and tell people like, yep, those are the shirts over there. I think I puked 3 times during that shift. I'm not joking. It's not a great glorifying story about me, but I will never forget it.
Honest to God, yeah.
Service is not a joke.
No, you've got to be on.
Tip your servers.
Yeah, tip your servers and hydrate if you are a server.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a rough day. When we spoke in 2019,
yes,
which I'm pretty sure was the first time we spoke, you talked to me about your mom and the queer community that your mom was in.
Yeah.
And some of these really strong women that were in your life. Would you talk a little bit about how having that as a young person impacted your coming into your queerness?
Absolutely, yeah. I feel really lucky that I had a mom. Just to clarify, my mom came out to me when I was like 11 years old. And to be honest, at the time, I was not very welcoming. I was like a hyper-religious person. I was sort of like, huh? And she kind of did the same thing when I came out to her later, too. I think it's just hard when you're close to someone to accept change. But
right.
She basically exposed me to the experience of her trying to find herself in a community when the world had so much less of it and so much less awareness around safety for queer people and community for queer people and it like even being an option. So I feel like the way that I move in the world as a queer person is just like with the weight of the gratitude for the people who like really, really did not have access to this community without a lot of risk.
Right.
And those people are a part of my chosen family on my mom's side of my family.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just got exposed to the fact that that's an option of a way to live earlier than I think we had it. And it's also so different now that it is sort of like a hashtag on the internet, and there's just like a lot more queer people, which is amazing.
Right.
You know, it's amazing to see that there is so much more room for acceptance, although confusing that it also comes with as much resistance to queerness and violence and danger towards queer people. But yeah, I feel grateful for the fact that my perspective is colored by my mom taking the risk to be the person that she was in a time when it just like was not that safe. I feel grateful for my rights, and that like really layers how I will continue to fight for them.
I love that. Thank you. Yeah. You know, I think it's just so important to kind of also include elders in our world, right? Yeah.
Yeah, which is really hard because with the involvement of the internet and like queer representation, things move so fast. And I'm not gonna lie, like it is sometimes hard to have conversations about being non-binary with elders who are just like, no, you're a hot girl, you know?
Yeah, they don't. A lot of times people don't get it.
Yeah, and obviously I want to be like a liaison for these concepts, and I want to have generosity and patience, and ultimately respect for anybody who like paved the way, you know? And it's not just people who are older than me who have a hard time with the concept. People of all ages have a hard time meeting non-binary people who don't look non-binary. It's just like, if I got upset every time I got misgendered, I'd be upset all the time, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I still just think at the end of the day, we should try to be as generous as we can, especially with older people, because we literally wouldn't have our rights without them.
Yeah. Thank you. I have it further in my notes, but because you mentioned being non-binary, and we were talking earlier, I think you came out as non-binary, I think, by the second time we had spoken.
Yeah, that's probably true, yeah.
Yeah, and your work is really kind of elides gender in a lot of ways. And would you talk about your gender evolution and how it shows up in your work?
Of course, yeah. I think that I first started like becoming aware of how I felt about my gender when I started singing. I started singing in the show that I was dancing in, and I think like one of the things that people were attracted to about my voice at first, and one of the things that was more natural for me, is that my voice was much lower than my speaking voice. Yeah. I've like learned a lot of range, and I can sing in lots of different places now, but at first especially, it was like a very low tone, and that felt really freeing to me to be perceived for that. And I still wasn't really thinking about my gender. I was kind of just coming into my sexuality, and in general being understanding that I'm not like I, without sounding like vain about this, because it's not a positive trope to me, I felt like I was sort of being, the idea of a hot blonde was being imposed on me, and I was also using it to get jobs as an actor as much as I could. Yeah. But I started to realize that I had agency to express other things, and singing really helped me to do that. And then people around me sort of started reflecting that they saw me, and that was the beginning. Like, honestly, working in a restaurant, I had this friend, Madeline, and we used to make out in the back of the while we were at work. We would like steal bottles of alcohol and make out. And then we'd eat really hot peppers and drink the cartons of milk. I did not take that job seriously at all. It was right that I got fired.
Was this in New York?
Yes, it was. But anyway, she told me that I walked like, I think she said Calamity Jane.
Oh, yeah. Sure, the Doris Day film.
But what she meant was like, one day I think she just looked me in the face and she was like, "You're a boy." And I was like, "How do you know?"
Oh, that's interesting.
You know, like, and just things like that in my life where people just like notice things about me that aren't like overtly perceived, or that I don't go out of my way to perform. I just started to realize that felt good to me, and the world became a really safe space to express that. And I think I just said it to the internet first. Yeah. And then my little brother was like, "It's about time."
Oh, yeah. That's sweet. How much younger?
He's like 2, 3. I don't understand the math, but yeah, he's like 2 years younger than me. Yeah. Some days it's 3 years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But we look like twins. And yeah, when I came out to my older brother as queer, he was like, "Yeah, me too. I'm also a lesbian." He's not gay. It wasn't helpful, but it was sweet. You know,
That's sweet.
It worked for me in the moment.
Because he was like,
He's like, whatever, girls are great.
yeah,
I get it.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. No, I'm lucky to have really great like men in my nuclear family.
Good. Yeah. We were talking earlier about non-binary presentation in Hollywood and expectations from everybody from casting agents to probably casting directors talent agents to casting directors. Would you touch on that?
Yeah, I think that just to talk about my personal experience, like the beginning of my career as an actor and a big moment for me with music was doing the show Trinkets, where I played like a queer heartthrob and I got to sing my own songs.
Which was on Netflix, height of the pandemic.
And
there were two queer leads.
Two queer leads?
Yeah.
Iconic. Actually, like everyone in the show is awesome.
Brianna Hildebrand and Quintessa Swindell.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. And they're great people and you should follow them everywhere they go. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Kiwi Smith, who wrote the story, is also an iconic like mentor to me still. Nice. I love the show so much. But that was an example of being like, you know, a queer, sexy person that like, to me, in that makeup and in that costume, I felt pretty like David Bowie-ish. I felt very like multi-gendered, but it was obviously perceived as just kind of like hot girl in control. But on the back of getting that job and having so much positive attention for my music and my character and my prowess, I was like, cool, I'm going to play all these non-binary characters. Like, I'm in my sexual power. Let's go. I want to read for all these roles.
Yeah.
And I can't say I've really, I think it's been like included that my character is non-binary in some things, but it's never been like an intentional part of the story that I'm really playing a non-binary person since then, because I think that unfortunately, and this isn't the most important battle to fight of all battles today, so I don't really I don't stress it too much, but it does bum me out that there's not a lot of representation of non-binary people who vary in how they present. Like, to me, the most true thing is to not like kowtow in any way or transform in any way to spell out what my gender is. Like, it feels very hetero to me and binary to me to try and adjust myself to be perceived as masculine enough to be non-binary.
Right.
Like, this is the way my hair grows out of my head. Yeah. My face is a canvas. Sometimes I put makeup on it. My body is curvy, but it's also really strong. And just like masculinity and femininity isn't defined for me by like having a cool, edgy, non-binary shag haircut. And like, I think that's hot. I love to see androgynous presentation.
Sure.
But for me, it's just like, I don't know. I kind of feel like I look like Tarzan if you don't put on like the Marilyn Monroe glasses when looking at me.
Yeah.
So it can be frustrating, but at the end of the day, I feel really good about the place I'm at as an actor because I really have been building a career as a canvas that transforms to play a lot of different people. And I feel really, really privileged to play a lot of women who are where there's more than meets the eye.
Yeah.
I feel like uniquely equipped to bring that sort of body and depth to a woman walking through the world as a woman who may have nuance to the experience of being a woman.
Yeah. Well, you're very good at transitions because I do want to talk about some of your roles.
Yes, please.
Well, you just finished shooting American Hostage.
I did.
Which sounds incredible. Would you talk a little bit about the premise and who you play in that?
Of course, yes. So I play Ibby Hall, a real person who is the wife of Dick Hall, who in, I believe, 1977 was held hostage at gunpoint and a dead man's wire and paraded down the street by Tony Kuritzis. And it set a precedent for how we broadcast live events. At the time, I think it was described as like terrorist attacks or whatever.
Right.
But it was on air for a long time, and I play the woman who is waiting to find out what happens to her husband who's being held at gunpoint. And what I love about this story is that I think there was a time in the TV and film industry when saying you were going to play a wife that you pretty much knew that was like a one-dimensional character of like someone who's crying and worrying about her husband.
Right.
And without giving too much away, I am so in love with the way that this character is written and the way her conversations with other women are written, and the fact that she has a nuanced experience as a full person who is a woman in the 70s.
Yeah.
And a mom in the 70s and a wife in the 70s and a person who has dreams and style and taste and love and a lot at risk. So, yeah, it's basically an incredible story with an incredible cast. We have John Hamm.
I mean, come on.
Come on. I mean, he's so hot right now. He's so hot right now.
I love John Hamm.
I feel like he is as popular as Bad Bunny.
He might be. Because he's got Your Friends and Neighbors, too.
Yeah, of course. But also, he's popular for being a Bad Bunny fan.
Oh, yes.
Which he's basically, they're basically coming up together, I feel. Yeah. And then we have Giovanni Ribisi, who I've fallen so in love with doing this. But Mireille Enos really is my main scene partner in this story.
Big Love and The Killing.
Yes.
People would know, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, I've had like, I don't think I've had this much responsibility as a character in a show. And by that I mean like this much text to chew on and this much time to spend with another actor, like really going places. And I feel really lucky that she's my scene partner. I'm learning so much from her. And also, gotta say, there's a lot of holding space. Our scenes hold a lot of space.
All right.
We may or may not even touch fingers.
Well, I mean, I was going to tune in anyway, but now
you have to.
I need screeners. I got to see this.
No, it's on brand.
I love it. Thank you. The Deuce. Yes. Would you talk a little bit about The Deuce? This is an underrated HBO show. That show was so good.
Binge it. Yeah. I feel very lucky that The Deuce was pretty much my first acting gig. I played James Franco's wife. The story itself is about the 1970s and the porn industry, the burgeoning porn industry, how it transitioned from being like basically a block of sex in New York, which also hilariously was 42nd Street, which is now Broadway.
I know. Now it's kind of Disneyfied, but yeah.
Absolutely, but we can't really say all that, can we? But
I know. We used to be so gritty.
There's still a lot of great musicals, a lot of great independent creations.
Yes.
But there's also a lot of really expensive musicals that are not giving, and that is really sad. It does make me sad.
I agree. I had a friend who worked at Show World for a summer.
Is that the sexy one? That's the sex one?
Yeah.
Where you put a little diamond? I loved working on The Deuce. It was such a uniquely matched beginning to my career. For those of you who are watching, just like fun fact to hook you, my first scene, I'm like fully buck naked with a fake bush. It's called a merkin.
A merkin.
And I get to tell somebody off who's trying to harass me because I'm a burlesque dancer, and it's so fun. And yeah, my experience was basically that I got to have this incredible role that was written to be like fairly small, bubbly burlesque dancer with a couple scenes. And it like I had the privilege of that role growing throughout the course of like throughout a whole other season until it was done. And
you made a very good Margarita.
Yes.
I never know how to say her last
Margarita Leviva.
Leviva. Who was
I mean,
on
I might be
Revenge.
wrong, but that's how I've heard of it.
Revenge was the big one for Margarita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to me, she'll always be Abby from The Deuce.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I spent her birthday with her like a couple weeks ago. She was really like the first person on set to welcome me and make me feel like I had every reason to be there and to play and to bring myself fully to the set. And like, as you can imagine, it was a very intimidating first job to be doing.
There's also Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yes. I didn't have a lot of scenes with her till the second scene, but second season. But once I did, I mean, she has the movie The Bride coming.
She's really formidable.
An incredible visionary. Also, The Secretary, iconic.
I mean, that movie inspired a lot of things.
Speaking of Pillion, inspired a lot of things. Inspired a lot of city nights on your way from Connecticut.
It was very inspirational.
We all wanted to work in an office.
Yes.
Corporate America was built on the back of The Secretary.
That movie and earlier 9.5 Weeks was very inspirational with Kim Basinger and Mickey Rourke.
Sounds like I need to watch that one.
It's probably that if I watched it now, I'd probably be like disturbed a little bit by the gender imbalance.
Mm.
But back in the day, it was like
It was just hot shit.
hot shit.
Just pushing the boundaries.
Pushing boundaries.
Listen, I
yes.
can put my back in the day glasses on to appreciate cinema. We've come a long way.
I know. I know you can.
I just watched the America's Next Top Model doc.
Oh,
We
I
don't
haven't
have
seen
time
it.
to unpack it, probably, but
you know, we keep having these like I had Jake Wesley Rogers a couple weeks ago, and I asked him if he liked cats, and he thought I meant
the musical. I did see that soundbite.
then
Memory all alone. You said I could sing a song on this.
Yes.
In the moonlight. Put some reverb on that. I can smile at the old days.
yeah.
Thank you.
Can you do
I was beautiful then. What's that? You want hands?
the pause?
I remember. Okay. Cat
Yeah.
sings Cats. You have to have everyone on your show reference Cats the musical
Love
from now
it.
on.
I love it. That is, I might have to. Yeah. Now I can't remember why I brought that up, but also you were in rap shit.
I was in rap shit. What an iconic. I mean, I'm so
straight
glad
up-
you know that.
Straight up comedy. Like
Truly.
just
Satire.
satire. How comedy's hard, but was it freeing in a way to do something that was
Oh my
like
God,
just
yes.
that out there?
Yes. I want to do everything.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to do the fun, light rom com. I want to do the crazy, important political satire. I want to do the Meryl Streep shit. I want to do everything.
Yeah.
But rap shit was an important, like, landmark for me because I had been obsessed with Issa Rae since Awkward Black Girl was like just on the internet. Simply because she's like such an entrepreneur of her own voice.
Right.
And really like, I feel like she was like leading the way of people just being like, we can tell our stories.
Yeah.
And when I auditioned for that, I think they were looking for like real rappers at the time who were white, who were willing to play the role. And I felt so uniquely appropriate for it because I wasn't a white rapper. So I didn't have my own actual music on the line. I was just like, I want to play this as I want to understand the satire of this and like dive all the way in while also enjoying the fact that we're actually making like pretty good music. Like
Pretty good
it kind of
stuff.
slaps. People sometimes still put on the Rain or Rain records.
I love it.
I saw a video last week of somebody stripping to Tongue.
I mean, and isn't that the goal?
Yeah.
Have somebody strip to
Anything
something
you've made.
created.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel very lucky to have a lot of like pole dancers who love my songs. That's like a niche that I want to stay in forever.
I think, yeah. And when I have a friend who has always long advocated for pole dancing to become an Olympic sport. So
Should, yeah.
when it hits the Olympics, maybe someone will play your music
Here's
to
hoping.
pole dancing.
Shout out to all the Olympians out there. Use my
Yes.
songs.
I know. I'm so excited. I'm actually excited for the women's skating this week.
Skating.
Yeah.
Which kind of skating?
Free skate, like figure skating.
Okay, so it's when they like solo dance.
Yeah. I mean, I love all of it, but there's two of the top Americans are queer.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited to see that.
See, I must admit, like, I'm never really aware of anything about sports, but obviously the Olympics are a little more exciting and nuanced because you're like all sorts of crazy things I didn't know people could do.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Like cross country ski and then stop and shoot.
Like, that's a whole thing. I remember last year, what was that girl who, like, I don't know, she did like an arrow or a shot, and we were all like, that's America's Girlfriend. We love her.
Yes. That was hot.
Yeah. The Olympics do give us new lesbians
Yes.
to be in love with.
Yeah. There's an influencer who does this bit. I mean, it kind of relies on tropes, but it's also pretty well done. Is that Olympic athlete gay or just an Olympic athlete or something like that? Yeah.
Yes. I had to have a blowout recently while auditioning for a role just to show what my hair looks like when it's not this curly. And my fiance was like, you look like you play softball. And I also don't know you anymore. It's really alarming.
See, just takes a little something to change the whole vibe.
To be an Olympic gay athlete.
Yeah, I just snap it back.
Snap it back, headband, little straight ponytail.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Take a picture next time.
I mean, we could probably cut to the picture that I sent you.
There we go.
Absolutely.
I have to touch on Swift Horses.
Please.
It was a beautiful film directed by Dan Minahan.
Yes.
And my one complaint is that you're not in it enough.
Agreed. No.
I mean, it's a beautiful story. One of the things I like about it is that it really gives equal kind of standing to this queer male relationship and to a sapphic relationship.
Yeah.
And there are no pathos in it. I mean, these people are of an era, I think it's the 50s or 60s. And they're figuring things out, but there's no guilt or weirdness about it. They're just queer.
It feels so personal.
Yeah.
It feels like it's all just really people genuinely exploring what sexuality feels like.
Right.
And without, like you said, no pathos of like, I'll come out as bisexual. I'll come out as anything.
Right.
There kind of was no point of reference. So they're just like falling in love in the story.
Mm.
The original story is written by Shannon Pufall, who kind of looks like my mom, and I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah.
The script and the book itself are just both like such riveting romances that I think because of the lack of pathos or any like really grounding forces that we have in our world today, it feels like this free exploration of just like falling in love in a time.
Yeah.
And I love my character in the story because, like, speaking of women who are compromising something to exist and survive in the world, I play a closeted high femme woman who fully leads a double life and like finds the queer bar where she can go absolutely have her colorful life, and then has her like husband who's fully unaware. And I don't know, those are real people. Those are real people from that era, and I loved
she was a
playing
survivor.
her. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I relate to that. And like, I love using my feminine wiles when I'm going through the airport. I'm like, don't look at me. Don't look at my bag. Don't look at my vibrator. Have a nice day, sir. Like, it's called code switching. And back then you used to get arrested if you were yourself. So I love.
Use that.
Yeah, we got to use that. But Gail especially, she's a bottle blonde. No, but I'm very excited that you bring that up because we're going to be going to the GLAAD Awards. I'm going to be going with Dan to the awards in like a couple weeks. It'll be my first time at the GLAAD Awards.
Oh, we might be on the red carpet. I'm hoping that we get. Yeah, good. It's such a beautiful night of celebration.
I'm going to cry a lot. I cry at speeches. I cry at awards.
Yeah, I had a beautiful time last year. I got to have a moment on stage with Michael Urie. And we introduced Jake Wesley Rogers. So it was like this
amazing.
You know.
My first time I met Jake Wesley Rogers, we were both performing in Miami at like some weird private party. And I got to just fully discover him playing live in like a room. Such a special human.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that you know each other.
Me too.
It makes me happy.
It makes me feel like I'm on the right path in my life.
Yeah.
To be in any way soulfully connected to them.
You'll be.
It's the whole space circle that
we're creating it. That's right, Joelle. I have to talk to you about your first lead role in a film.
Yeah.
Star People. I love that this film, it touches on like kind of something cosmic, but also like what we're going through in terms of immigration and this strange time of people trying to capture other humans and things like that. Would you talk about your impressions when you got this script?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, firstly, there were a lot of like surface level things about the script besides the incredible, well exercised metaphor of immigration and aliens and everything.
Yeah.
That I was just really eager to play because like I mentioned before, I feel like I'm often perceived as and cast as this like bubbly, hyper feminine person, which I do enjoy like the nuance of that. But I was really eager to play someone who was a little closer to like my grounded self and somebody who was just like less gender expressive. And when I read this role, Claire is somebody who's like hyper fixated on her mission, which is to find aliens that she was exposed to or believed she saw as a young person. And I relate to that as just like an artist in the world. Like it takes a hyper fixation to continue doing what I'm doing. And especially as a dancer, as a young person, that is like such a defining quality in my life that I was just like, we're going one way and nothing's stopping us.
Yeah.
And I was really eager to express that. So that about this character really spoke to me. But then obviously to feel that the message of a well-used metaphor, like Wizard of Oz or whatever, like so many before it, it brings all sorts of people to empathize with this situation that really deserves to be thought about in an empathetic, soulful, heartfelt way, not just a political news, you're on that side kind of way. And that's, to me, is the best exercise of film and storytelling and performance. And the coolest and craziest thing about movies and music is you make it, you conceive it so much earlier than it actually comes out. And so for everyone who made Star People to see the exponential relevance of this story is at once heartbreaking and also like, I mean, for me, it's very affirming that I chose to do the project and worked with these soulful people who already had these concepts in mind, sort of like predicting how things could go and what kind of stories we need. And I'm really proud of it. Like there are a lot of, there are a lot of sci-fi stories that aren't about people really. And this one really is.
Yes. And there's this other element to it that I think is very important, which is she's told by everyone around her that she's kind of crazy, that she's obsessed with finding aliens, that she didn't experience what she experienced.
Yes.
And kind of, opposite to what we might normally see, she's validated at the end. Like, it's really nice to see that because she's been gaslit her whole life. And then she has validation that she trusted herself and that was the correct path.
Absolutely. And like she has, one of the main things that I loved about the story was just that it's not a love story. There's not, she has like relationships in the story, but they are not, she doesn't need to be like justified by ending up in partnership for her like mission to have been fulfilled. Right. But it does actually have a very Wizard of Oz kind of undertone of like, at the end of the day, no matter how far you go outside of yourself or no matter how big the mission is, the internal sense of grounding and also the people we connect to and the people we protect and the people we bring with us along the way are really what the journey's about. And I think that like, I live obviously a very specific life traveling around and jumping from story to story, but I think that I tend to get a pretty good sense of what's going on, and it feels like people are generally like sort of stressed about not being connected right now. And it feels like there is every excuse and reason and distraction in the way of just being connected. And I loved this story because even though her like hyperfixation was for a reason, she also learned the lesson in the end that like you can allow people in to that pursuit, and you can like people are the thing that's really worth fighting for.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. I probably should start wrapping up, but I have to talk to you about Sore Thumb, your video.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. So you just put out a video for the song Sore Thumb, which is so good.
Thank you.
And it's very dance forward.
Yeah.
Would you talk about the imagery in that?
Absolutely. Yeah. I actually made that video like 2 years ago. I made the video for an entirely different song that was tied up in a label.
Okay.
And I wrote Sore Thumb recently trying to just find it was my first co-write with Anna Schultz, who is a queer person. I was recommended to write with her. And we got in the room, we were like, let's always like just write something about somebody. Let's see what comes out. And we ended up both like crying at this song once we wrote it because we realized the undertones just kind of came through our collaboration to be this like, to us personally, like a queer acceptance story of, if you're sticking out like a sore thumb, eventually you just have to embrace that it's okay to be different is really like the concept. And it's one of my first independent releases, and I really wanted to have some type of visual, but I was sort of accepting that it wasn't going to happen. And then I was going through footage and I found this footage. I made all of the video totally independently with my friends Bailey and Annie and my friend Josh who shot it. We choreographed and created that in a couple of hours in that studio, and to an entirely different song. And I put it on to Sore Thumb like a couple days before Sore Thumb came out, and I was like, we made this for Sore Thumb. Like it really did not ever fit with the other song. And I've gone through sort of a transition period, having been like dropped from labels and let go of managers. And you just like, as an artist trying to figure out the industry, it takes a long time to reorganize those pieces and figure out what you still own and what you can still share.
Yeah.
And it felt like a gift from myself in the past that I chose to spend that time with those people who were my friends and not like, you know, people who were, they'd like just really spent that time with me to like soulfully express something. And it fit so much better with the concept of Sore Thumb. And I like asked them that day, I was like, can we share this? And they were like, I'm so glad it's going to come out. And yeah, so it was just like a story of creation, not really knowing where that's going to go. And then it landing and making sense. But the choreography is really inspired by feeling manipulated and feeling, even though the concept is about being a sore thumb who sticks out, I really love that the imagery is us all kind of being in the same likeness, sort of.
Right.
Like
because
visions
it's all
of each other.
White tanks and blonde hair.
Yeah, exactly. They're like sort of my little twins. But I like the idea that we're like changing and sharing identities and protecting and catching each other and just like, feeling like you're sort of like rolling with the punches of the world on each other.
Yeah, giving and taking too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. It's really good.
Thank you.
Kat, do you have a message for queer youth right now?
I don't mean to be trite, but do whatever you can to get off your phones. Obviously, you're here watching this on your phone.
Yeah.
But I really think that even though I met my fiance and Raya and everything, and there are lots of cool things you can do, like watching this podcast you're watching online right now.
Or listening.
Yeah. There are a lot of ways to use it to connect, but I also think that I feel for young queer people who aren't like figuring out who they are in like tactile spaces. I think you can learn so much genuinely. Holding space with people.
That's right.
Look, it's a commercial. I got paid $1 million to say all this.
God, Kat, you are like the best purveyor of this message.
I know. Listen, it's like very relevant. It's very easy. But truly, I just like, I want young people to experience physical space. And like as a dancer, that gave me so much knowledge about myself and confidence about myself and such a sense of strength. And I want young people to lean on each other, literally.
Nice. Thank you. I have two more things. What are you holding space for?
Like, let's see. What am I holding space for? Like, can you give me like which angle we want to go on this? Like,
oh gosh, it could be, it could be like your dinner later tonight.
That I'm really loving?
Yeah,
or like,
something you're loving, or it could be more existential or, philosophical, or it could just be like, I don't know, your resold shoes.
I love that. Man, I feel like I'm just like constantly holding space. I'm literally holding space right now. I think tonight I'm holding space for date night because I've been working really fucking hard. And my sweet fiance has been supporting me for working really fucking hard. And sometimes you have to hold space for eating dinner and making out.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah, I love it.
The world's like, it can be claustrophobic. I'm like, make a little space.
That's
for
right.
kisses.
Yeah. And dinner and sustenance.
Food.
Yes. Because you
love
need that.
Food.
Me too.
You love a good bean stew.
I do.
I love a good short rib.
We have one final thing. We have a little game. It's an easy game.
As long as there are no wrong answers.
No. So it's essentially like, it's called hold, give, drop.
Okay.
So you're going to,
How many do I take?
you're going to pick three.
1, 2, 3.
And this was tailored to you. Okay. So you're going to hold on to one that you need or love. You're going to give one to me that you think I might need or love. And then one you're going to drop because it maybe doesn't mean as much to you.
Did they do this like right now? You guys are working back there?
We did it earlier. So, because I did my research, I found out you were into The Wizard of Oz.
Stop!
So these are scenes from The Wizard of Oz, and you have to hold on to one, give me one, and then drop one. But so it's basically F, Marry, Kill. But
okay. This feels evil.
And then just share a little story about why you're doing what you're doing.
We're working with Miss Gulch Takes Toto.
Oof. Yeah.
Crazy. That hurts the people.
That's
Gut
really
punch.
Horrible.
Yeah. Dorothy bids farewell to her friends. Also sad. Poppies will make you sleep.
Oh, those are all good.
Yeah, but they're also like pretty sad for me to give you.
Okay.
So I feel like the kindest thing I could possibly give anyone in this time of, general anxiety and unrest is the poppies that will make you sleep.
Oh, I love that.
Have a nice nap.
I didn't sleep great last night, and so I'm going to take this. I'm going to put it in my pocket. And I actually save them all, whatever someone gives to me.
You do?
Yeah, I've been saving them.
You should laminate them on a nice little serving tray.
Yeah.
That would be very goofy.
Would be.
I don't want... Okay, I can handle this. Miss Gulch Takes Toto. Rude.
Yeah, no good.
No good.
Yeah. Do you want to pick another? Listen.
We want one happy one, don't we?
We don't have strict rules. You can pick another one too.
Okay. Let's say I only get one more, but I could justify this.
I'll miss you most of all, Scarecrow.
That's Dorothy bids farewell to her friends because that's what I'll have to do. I'll have to leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully it's not a depressing one.
Okay, let's see. Arriving at the Emerald City and getting makeovers. Yes, there we go. That's what I needed.
I love when the Cowardly Lion gets his perm done.
Yes. So iconic. Now I just want to read all of them. Should I just read them all out? Glinda gives Dorothy a tour of Munchkinland. Yes, Glinda had a crush on her.
Billy Burke.
Also iconic.
Yeah, incredible. I think we've arrived at a time that we must part.
The button.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
But thank you so much for being here. And also, would you let folks know how they can find you?
Yes. My name is Kat Cunning. That's Kat with a K, like a human, and Cunning with a C and two N's, like cunnilingus. You can find me everywhere, anywhere by that spelling as both a songwriter, pop artist, queer, gay icon, actor extraordinaire. It's going to be an EGOT, honey. Just
Dancer,
press follow.
Former Cirque du Soleil performer.
I was in Cirque du Soleil. Got a lot of bragging rights.
Yeah. We couldn't get to Kat's entire career, so you'll have to come back.
We'll hold space for it another time.
Okay. Thank you. No, thank you so much. This has been a really fun time.
It's been really fun. Thank you for having me.
Good. Yes. Thank you for listening to Holding Space with Tracy E. Gilchrist. Holding Space is a main character production. It is hosted by me, Tracy E. Gilchrist, produced by Joao Del Stella, co-produced by Mason May, editing and sound design by Nick Walker, photos by Emily Teague, and executive produced by Joao Del Stella and Tracy E. Gilchrist, and marketing and social media, Ryan Heller.